Hi, man.
Take this bag, Dion, please.
I hope this is it.
Well, we're safe on that. I'm so sorry, Pat. Make sure it looks like it.
And look who the flip is reposting it. The real genius Dan. How the heck are snitches, gov informants and trolls posting other people? Just to get famous, just to try and get clout. Not because they give a shit. And here's Ambrose's mother at his graveside. No one told her they were exhuming her son. They're quickly trying to hide, trying to scramble. It's very clear to me, it's very bait, that if the forensics are saying, well, he had cocaine in his system, but the cocaine wasn't a cause of death. There wasn't enough cocaine in his system for him to be dead. You found a car wrecked. Someone's chasing him, clearly. He was out raving at a nightclub or a pub somewhere in Enfield. Something kicked off. He got in his car, he tried to get away. Clearly, someone chased him. He crashed his car. Someone or people took him from the car. Pumped his body with cocaine. I mean, I don't see loads of people reporting about how he took drugs, whether he did or not. How did he get from his car to the river? And where's the reports about when they first searched for him and couldn't find nothing? How come you've removed all that? First, they failed to help Ruth search for Ambrose. And now, they are failing to help her find his killers. Yeah, because they paid for the death. I mean, we all know that. We can word it as nice as we want and dress it up. Andrew Walker failed Ambrose and us as family members by not ensuring that the Metropolitan Police followed his orders through. Threats made to River Deaf family supporters. Failed to refer mental health patient despite what's this? Hey. Why were people making threats to the people supporting? Weird. Threats have been made to their supporters. Father of two, Ambrose Ball, had not been seen since January 24th. After a night out at the Fox pub in Green Lanes. Oh, Green Lanes, was it? I know he lives around there. Not saying anyone's connected, but it's just a bit weird how I'm all the way in South. Growing up in South, minding my business. But at the same time, I visit Tottenham and East and Hackney and Peckham and Brixton and Lewisham. And I mean, people, when they see me individually on their own, you don't know nobody. Of course I don't. I don't chat nobody is what I don't do. So no one knew till recent years how many I know. I didn't even think about it. Once you're gone from my life or I've kicked you to the curb, I just don't even think about you, don't need to chat you, don't need to discuss you, and I move along. His body was found in New River at Newcut on Wednesday. When was this written? 28th of April 2015. A post-mortem revealed proved inconclusive, and the 31-year-old's death is being treated by police as unexplained. So 2015, it was inconclusive. Roll on to 2016 when they do the inquest. Oh, we found cocaine in the system. Yeah, we're sure now. We've done a second check and now cocaine's coming up. Didn't come up in the first one. Come up in the second one. We'll just take that. That sounds plausible. Written on Facebook, his aunt said, on Monday, Tuesday, we reported receiving threats and the police were informed of the nature of these threats. The police phoned us 4 times between Monday and Tuesday to try and get to talk with us. We decided not to for reasons we can't disclose here. The last time we heard from the police was on Tuesday. In the early hours of January 24th, a car belonging to Mr. Ball, also known as Jay, was found on the border of Tottenham. And I know you, Ambrose. Funny enough, you was at enough dances and raves. We spoke bare times. I never forget those eyebrows. One pretty boy was found on the border of Tottenham and Walthamstow after a serious accident. And I wish I didn't have to keep saying I know these people, because it just seems like I'm clouting, and I'm not. It's disgusting how many of you dogs are sitting there knowing what's happened to this man. His children can't rest. His mother can't rest. His family can't rest. Because the streets snitch anyway. Everyone knows. Stop fearing the devil and speak up on his name. Say who it is. A post-mortem was inconclusive. Mr. Harrison also described the trauma of going to identify Mr. Ball with his mother Ruth, who previously made a public appeal for information about her son. She said Miss Harrison, yesterday Ruth and I went to the mortuary with the intention of seeing Ambrose. When we arrived, we were told that the state of the body was so badly decomposed that it would be really hard. Why are you lying? If a body's chucked in a river, you know that water is a preserver. It's salt water. How would the body be so decomposed? She can't identify a tattoo, no? Not an eyebrow? An ear? You look, they're lying. They didn't want her to see the body. They didn't want her to see all the bruises in the back that he was beaten up probably. Look at that car. Someone collided with that from his side. That car didn't collide into a wall. Look at the back tyre. Where's the back tyre? All I can see is the alloy. Apparently, the body and the surrounding area were wrapped in plastic, lifted and then taken to the morgue. To be truthful, yesterday was one of the hardest, if not the hardest day we all suffered emotionally. I think we are now beginning to struggle mentally and emotionally, but hopefully today we'll both find the strength we need to continue to get justice for Ambrose. And here we are, 9 years later. Over 9 years now, because the 24th of January was last week. And still no justice for Ambrose, let alone all the hundreds and thousands. Oh, we can't investigate. Well, shut down, Met Police. You're foolish. You can't investigate your shit. Because how they found Fred West and all those bodies back in the day of Myra Hindley, God knows. How your old force found out about Harold Shipman, God knows. How you investigated Leah, that nurse Leah, the other day, God knows. How the heck you found Saddam Hussein in a hole, I'd love to know. But here I am with all my evidence. Got everyone. I was a covert witness, boy, sitting there, letting them harass me. Capture. Yeah, rob my house. I'm going to contain the forensics. You don't want to... we can't investigate who tampered the phone line because we can't say who done it. That's what an investigation is. You don't want to bring some forensics here? No? You know who done it. You paid them to do it. What do you mean? Just like we know who sprayed my knee. We know who was on shift that day. The CCTV's there. IOPC don't want to look into it. They're going to destroy... They've destroyed the evidence is why they're not looking into shit. They don't want to tell me, Miss Jordan, all our officers deleted all the database and their body cams and. You've not investigated shit, IOPC. Or DPS, Department of Professional Standards. This is so professional right now. Look at this little black girl telling you how your job's supposed to be done. Wow. Miss Harrison added that the family have a number of questions over the circumstances of the disappearance. The one thing that struck us straight away is the fact that Ambrose was wearing his jacket. Bearing in mind, are we expected to believe is that Ambrose following... And they didn't even let her identify the body. So who even knows if that's Ambrose? Let's be real. Who actually knows if that's him? His mum can't say, that's definitely my son. And then the morgue and the undertakers are going to have a closed coffin because, the body's too decomposed. We can't have an open coffin. And then here you are, how many years later, exhuming the body. Wow. Undercover without the mum knowing. Like, literally, here you are. And the mum's cussing your bumper clot out. This is Wood Green Cemetery, I'm assuming. They're putting his ashes back in the ground without his mum. Sorry, that's what they're doing. Putting his ashes back in the ground. Why you want to test ashes and you didn't want to test the body properly? That don't make no sense. So bearing in mind, Ambrose was wearing his jacket, we're expected to believe, following a serious crash, he went back to the car, went into the boot, took his jacket out, closed the boot, ran away, before dumping the jacket by the river. So Ambrose took a jacket he never needed, but left his phone. But mind you, the one thing that struck them is straight away is the fact that Ambrose was wearing the jacket. I'm assuming his body's wearing the jacket. Miss Harrison also confirmed that someone had been interviewed in prison over the death and said the family would continue to push for answers. If they think that the discovery of Ambrose's body is going to bring this search for truth to an end, they couldn't have been further from the truth. I can't fucking call Crime Stoppers or Hungry Police. I can't say, well, you might want to look at your undercover Faz Amnesty. You might want to start looking at a couple names. No, I can't say shit. They ain't going to do shit. They're going to ignore my reports. They're not going to say nothing. And they're going to act like my reports didn't exist. And this is why I've been trying to talk to victims directly, because I'm really a forensic investigator off my own back. And if anyone can solve shit, it's Sherelle. It's Sherelle. Literally. Body found in the river 3 months later. Why did the police botch his investigation? The police did not secure the scene. They failed to take photos or any forensics as they deemed it simply a crash. You find a car abandoned. It's like I was in the police station probably a few weeks before meeting Ken Livingstone. It was a few weeks before. Because every fucking day, the same neighbours that the police was paying was harassing me. And I'm like, yeah. And so every time I'm going to report it, because every time it's going to be logged. Every time I'm going to make sure they know I said. I'm not going to sit here in silence and get set up. And literally, a man walks in with a suitcase and he's saying he's found this random suitcase, but he's concerned because it's got women's items in there. And it's only got one shoe. And the reporting officer on the desk, it was Johnson Ogun or one of the other ones, one black one. Idiot, man. He's like, well, just leave it, throw it away. We're not going to take this. We don't deal with lost property. And the guy's like, but I rang everywhere and they literally said, take it to the police station. So I'm shouting at the guy. I'm telling him, are you crazy? This guy's come in with a random suitcase. It's got documents in there. It's got the passport in there. And you don't think that's possibly a missing case? Custody reporting desk officer. Thank God you're not in the investigating teams. What an idiot. You really don't want to talk about that. You really don't want to jog it down as a potential missing case, or you want to try and find the owner. You don't want to try and find no family members and find out if the person whose suitcase you just found random in the street, if the person's all right, are they missing? Have they been reported to hospital? Did the person collapse and die? Is there any missing Jane Does right now? They are full of shit. On the 24th of January 2015 at 3 a.m, a phone call goes into Tottenham Police regarding a smashed BMW blocking Watermead Way at the junction near Sedge Road, N17. The caller states there is no driver, airbags are deployed, and there is a wheel missing. Police don't want to search for the wheel, no? I noticed that seconds ago when I just looked at the forensics of the car. Where's the back wheel? Might want to search for a back tyre somewhere. The police attended the site and requested a removal crew for the car. Huh? Who does that? You don't take no road markings, nothing. Because they knew exactly what happened. But left at the scene, the car is picked up, but they left the wheel, a number plate, debris scattered all over the road. Don't even hire a clean-up crew. The police do not secure the scene. They failed to take photos or any forensics as they deemed it a simple crash, but there's no driver. They state that a helicopter searched the area for any injured persons, but nothing was found. Why are you looking for injured persons and not kidnappers? There's CCTV everywhere. Why wasn't you scanning the CCTV in every location around that area? Every road with a CCTV in that area. Which cars were around? Let's say, if you know that he left the pub, what time did he leave the pub? Let's try and track his route. Exactly where did he drive? Where did he go? Because you fucking find me every fucking where I went. There's no details in the car regarding who the car belonged to, apart from a mobile phone that sits in the front. Don't need details, run the plates. Oh, they never ran the plates or searched the mobile phone for any clues as to who may own the car. Weird, you don't sound like police. Sound like gang members. Sound like hitmen. Now, we have to go back to the 23rd of January. Man U are playing in the cup. It's a Friday night. Pubs are packed with supporters and Friday night regulars. It's around 11:20 p.m. Ambrose and a few others. Who's the others? Who's the others? Attended the Fox Public House in Green Lanes, Palmer's Green. There for just under an hour. Just under an hour. Ambrose loses his keys and at around, so they say, and at around 12:15 a.m, because you got to think, was the security involved? Because you see, a lot of the pubs in your area, everyone knows everyone. How much security guards do I know? How many of them are now telling me, yeah, I know your brethren, I know your cousin, I know this one. Yeah, how is it? What's the connections? He then speaks with security, who return his keys into his possession. Oh, security just found some keys. Oh. He lost his keys in the pub and security have it. Oh. What, they didn't want to make an announcement? We found some keys. Has anyone lost any keys? Like they normally do. Just after that, a fight breaks out within the beer garden of the pub at around 12:30, according to a witness. There's no footage within the pub that shows fights around this time, according to whoever searched the CCTV. I mean, according to them, I weren't on no CCTV. An hour after the witness states. So there's no footage within the pub that shows fights around this time frame. The fights on CCTV break out at 1:30 a.m, an hour after the witness states it was 12:30. So who's telling the truth here, the witness or the CCTV? Well, I can just go onto Insta, upload a video, I can add a camera reel. I can do a lot with technology. What can they do to manipulate CCTV? If the person says it was 12:30, I'd more trust the eyewitness than a technology. I would. But then I'd have to check out what type of eyewitness is this. Are they plausible or are they credible? Or do they have a pattern for lying? So around 1:33 a.m, Ambrose is seen being pulled off by the scruff of the neck, heading towards the back of the beer garden. A light that is on suddenly. It's so funny because yet another guy was tortured in Tottenham. Was it this year or last year? In a pub. Taken off and murdered, stabbed how many times, and his girlfriend was locked in the toilets. This is an Asian. This guy was a DJ. He was a DJ. Was it DJ Semtex or one of them? Someone. And it seemed like he was being blackmailed, it said. It's funny, the same ends keep popping up again and again. Same style of murders, same style. The guy was taken in his car and this and that and tortured and XYZ. So around 1:33, Ambrose is seen being pulled off by the scruff of the neck. So the person that said it was 12:30, but the CCTV shows it was 1:30 a.m. and it's Ambrose being seen pulled away by the scruff of the neck at 1:33 a.m. So I'm going to assume, playing devil's advocate, he got vexed about his keys or something, because he don't sound like he's stupid. Fight broke out. Something happened. Some words were said. And Ambrose gets pulled by the scruff of the neck, heading towards the back of the beer garden, not towards the front doors. A light that is on suddenly turns off, which is operated from behind the bar of the pub. The bulb is not faulty or broken, as minutes later it comes back on. So did someone want to obscure the CCTV? During this time, a figure can be seen heading towards the car park, which is situated behind the fence wall of the beer garden. More fights break out, and an altercation between Ambrose and another male occurs, but this isn't captured on CCTV. This sounds like the one family that I grew up with, always up in a passa. Every time they go out, they come back in with stories about who did what and who they had to slap up and who XYZ. That's just how they are in Tottenham. That is literally the mental mind frames of Tottenham. The Yardies. And the Yardies' children, who are now adults. This is the male in question stating he had this altercation. Then the CCTV captures Ambrose being chased and attacked by a male. And you lot just think he went off, he's in a fight and then he goes off to take cocaine, crashes his car and walks into a river and drowns himself. That's plausible. He had enough mental capacity to realise, hang on, where's my keys? Attacked by a male, he then heads into the direction of the police, to which he has his top off, exposing his upper body. Who's he? Ambrose or the male? Ambrose being chased and attacked by a male, he then heads in the direction of the police. What police? Were there officers there? You mean in the direction of the police station? To which he has his top off, exposing his upper body. So it's funny when the family are saying it's weird that he's wearing a jacket. There's no CCTV for around a minute or two because someone's turned it off in the office. It never captures him coming back down towards the pub with no top on, but does capture him 2 minutes later, fully clothed, heading into the pub. How did he suddenly appear with his jacket on? Someone's merged those clips and tries to make it look like this is the CCTV image because they're so thick. A lot of your officers take drugs. A lot of them are deranged fucking psychos. A lot of them are the ex-gang members. I say ex. They just took off the gang member name and put on the police name. So how did he suddenly appear with his jacket on? The CCTV frames are minutes apart in time frame. So how did no CCTV capture him coming back from the direction of the police and putting on a jacket, but captures him going back inside the pub fully clothed? I'm sure you had to put on more than a jacket. A t-shirt, a top. This is January, it's cold. A jumper. Inside the pub, he is again seen speaking to security, but this time, there is no keys. He has lost them. The media did release information reading a 1:30 a.m. sighting of Ambrose being allowed out the back to look for his keys. Here the time is around 1:45 a.m. as he is seen looking out the window of the pub to where his car is parked. He is then seen near to the cavalry part of the pub asking to be allowed through the bar which he's declined to do, then he's seen walking past the bar. There was no CCTV after this from inside the pub. How weird. CCTV has glitches now. All of a sudden, nothing don't work digitally. At 1:50 a.m, a male is seen entering Ambrose's grey BMW and driving off. A phone call from Ambrose's phone is sighted a few miles away in Southgate. Southgate's the back of Hackney, the back of Dalston. So what are you saying? In 5 minutes, he got from Green Lanes to Southgate at 1:50 a.m. 5 minutes. Doubt it. I mean, I know BMWs are fast. I've driven 1 Series, but come on. What, there wasn't a single traffic light or something? He was doing 60 miles an hour. Why has there never been any CCTV that captures Ambrose leaving the pub? It has him arriving and entering the pub, but never captures him leaving the same way. But does capture him apparently getting into his car and driving off. The person has been questioned as Ambrose held a limp due to a leg injury. The guy was bigger in build and walked without a limp. There is nothing on the CCTV that shows Ambrose leaving the Fox pub. The male was questioned to who that was. So Ambrose was never identified leaving the pub by anyone who knew him. No one saw him physically leave or viewed on CCTV. So how did he leave that pub? End up in Southgate for an hour? To which the mobile phone is the only stated evidence to prove he was there. No, you proved his mobile was there. You didn't prove it was Ambrose getting in the car. It literally says a male is seen entering his car. But he's there looking for his keys. So who knows if he found his keys or if it's someone else that... They literally took him in the back of that pub and tortured the fuck out of him. I don't care what anyone says. Tortured the fuck out of him, and someone else drove away in his car. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I could be wrong, but still. Consensus and how many forensic shit I watch. There has never been any CCTV, even though Victor Elisa states there was CCTV from that area. So where is it? Where is it, Met Police? National Crime Agency, Serious Fraud Office, where is it? Ministry of Justice, MOPAC, Mayor's Office for Police and Crime, where is it? He's then and no one goes to a tribunal and gets punished for this type of shit. Everyone who got paid on public funding who fought this case should be in prison. He is then captured on CCTV in a shop called Daddy-O's on Bowes Road. Where's Bowes Road? At 2:59 a.m, wearing a completely different jacket to the one he's wearing on the Fox's pub. He looks in high spirits and not paralytic drunk or to have been in any physical altercations. Who's to say that's actually Ambrose on this footage though? Can we see the footage? Is it clear? Because according to a lot of you, we look the same. Enough of you stop me in the street. Hi, welcome. And you don't know me. You think I'm someone else. I do it all the time. Run people down. Yo, Carla. Till Carla turns around and it's a whole Carla. The car is captured moving at the same time he's in the shops. 2:58. Exactly. Someone stole his keys and car. Allegedly. Because I'm not even trusting this, what I'm reading. How can the car be driving without its driver? It's not Tesla, is it? It's a BMW. 10 minutes later at 3:09, the time was changed as the police first stated 3 a.m. They do that all the time. They did it all up on my records. 10 minutes later, his car was found smashed up and abandoned by the caller near to Sedge Road. So you're back at Sedge Road. You're supposedly at Sedge Road. You're supposedly at Sedge Road. What time? Oh, I'd have to go back into it and look in a second. This is crazy. He's back at Sedge Road within an hour and a bit. This car's been driving round. There are no signs of Ambrose. After the 2:58:59 sighting, only the car is captured on a speed camera. At 3:04, going at higher speeds on Montague Road. Isn't Montague Road E1? No, that's Old Montague Street, Old Montague Road. Where's Montague Road? Hackney. Which Montague Road? This is the problem. It could be the N8. I'm assuming they're talking about Montague Road, either the E8 or the N15 Montague Road. Oh, that's Stokey. E8's Hackney. So which Montague Road are we talking? Later that morning, his friend attends his mother's house and explains the events that surround her son. She calls the police to say that to which they say he can't be reported missing until 48 hours have passed. How strategic that law was in place. That little legislation. That little statutory law. She goes to the crash site and finds a wheel, a number plate and debris from the car, but no signs of Ambrose. Imagine police have found your son's car and they haven't notified you, but the friend's at the house and you go to the crash site. She searches the marshes well into the night, but nothing is found. They're sick. It's like how you got me, the victim, investigating my own crimes. You're sick to have the mum. She must have been going out of her mind. And she's got to have these visuals and this memory and this PTSD. This is what she's got to live with. Jesus Christ. The police, however, do attend her home, asking for any DNA regarding her son, to which a toothbrush is handed over. That would have never had any DNA on it, as it was brand new and came from a property Ambrose never used. Don't they want a hairbrush? Some boxes? I mean, there's loads of things you can get DNA from. Why did the police ask for DNA on a man who wasn't even at this point down as a missing person? Literally. Because they know. What was the point of that line of inquiry so early, as they didn't use any scent of Ambrose to support the dog search? So why did they want DNA of a man considered not even missing at that point? She explains what has been told regarding altercations and a crash that morning. They still don't listen. Of course they don't, they're blasé little pricks. She tells them it's out of his character to not make contact either to her or his ex-partner, as he was meant to be picking up his children for their weekly visit, which he never fails to do. They still don't listen. Again, his mother searches around on Sunday the 25th, still phoning the police with no correct engagement to her concerns, but he is now down as low risk. Low risk. There's been a whole fight at the pub, keys got stolen, missing, cars driving around in 2 different places. You still don't want to look? And he's still low risk? Just shy of the 48 hours missing person's time frame. Nothing is found until Monday afternoon, when a jacket is found in the field near to the crash site. Oh, you just find a jacket? Oh. But his mum was searching all around. Surely she would have noticed his jacket. The jacket is dry. Doesn't even show signs of it being there for over 48 hours, to which it had rained. It was freezing cold in January. That weekend, the jacket wasn't even damp. So how is a jacket bone dry but has been sitting there 48 hours in the rain and cold? Footsteps are seen stopping near to the Pimsbrook that come from an alleyway that runs beside the power station. And also near to where the jacket was found, the police then take breathing equipment to that location, but prevent anyone viewing why they are there and why they would need this. They found his body. He was half alive. And instead of calling the ambulance, people that are really trained, because police, you lot ain't trained in shit. You try and cover up and try and bring him back to life, but it was too late. I'm just guessing, these are the visions that are coming through. They bring in a search dog, but fail to provide a scent from either the jacket or clothes that were handed to them in that morning that held his scent. How did they expect to find him with no scent? The dog's just supposed to imagine what it's looking for? The search brings no findings and the search stops due to lighting. Lighting? You got torches. Search for the night. The next day a marine search is conducted. Finds nothing as they never once searched the river the body was found in. Never once over a 3-month period did they choose to search that river. They waited until the body was decomposed enough. Why didn't they search all water sources around the area they had deemed he may have fallen in? But due to the jacket finding and crash location, they never thought about it. Because they're not trained to analyse and think of motives and think all these murders we've had, all these weird, suspicious events, and we haven't learned from it? Wow. Still, wow. They never thought about any other water source but the Pins Brook, as it was the only water source close enough to fall in from the car and jacket locations. They did search the navigation as it's the second water source, but can only be reached by crossing the Pinsbrook and heading towards the marshes, either on path or crossing the fields. I know exactly what marshes you're talking about. Around the Creighton Road area. Yeah. We used to walk down there sometimes. So nearly 3 months pass. And on the 22nd of April 2015, a body is found floating in the river by a water inspector. How long does it take a dump body, to get waterlogged? I can't imagine it would be that long. Pretty much as soon as you die, you float. Pretty much as soon as you die, you'll start floating because you're not resisting the water anymore. You're going with the tide. I've never been able to float. I can't relax in water, but a dead body surely relaxed. The police deem this to be Ambrose due to the clothes he's wearing. The officer in charge, a DCI, Stuart Hill, he led the Tottenham High Road and Broadwater Farm East team. Oh. Who's he? You telling me he became a chief inspector of fucking Essex Police? What's his name again? Stuart somebody. What's this got to do with Stuart? Anything at all? Nothing. But where's the part about he led Tottenham and... Doesn't say anything about what I just read in the caption. Is that what I asked? post-mortem examination is due to take place at East Ham mortuary this afternoon in incident room. Is this the same? Leytonstone. And this is the same DCI. Picture of murdered man released. Police released a photograph of 27-year-old man killed in Stratford on Friday evening. 2008. 2008. 7 years before Ambrose. Kevin McFarlane. Who's the investigator here? DCI Stuart Hill. I would appeal anyone that was in the area. I would appeal you learn to do your jobs. You can't never know and see everything. What's the point in all this CCTV we got going on and all this technology, and it don't seem to ever work when it needs to? Like, literally. What other cases you fought in, Stuart? Eh? Stephen Lawrence inquiry. Surely that's got nothing to do with Stuart Hill as well. I hope not. Because it would seem like all the major cases. DCI Stuart, why you keep popping up? And that's it. How you get to DCI and you got literally 2 cases on Google? Just like I wonder how DC Hudson became a DC, literally 22 years old. And Coxon. DC Coxon. How are you a DC? 22 years old. Well, that was 2 years ago, but 22 years old. Yeah, all right. The officer in charge tells Suresh Grover of the monitoring group about this body, to which he then informs Ambrose's mother. She is left nearly 72 hours with no real understanding of what might be. Even though police have stated it's her son, but they said there wasn't a whole body. It was too badly decomposed to ever be identified. And you couldn't tell what it was in the water. And it was a crime scene. So how did those photos show so much evidence if it was only lifted from its found position, was covered in debris, and couldn't be identified? Also at this point, the body hadn't even been cleaned up when it should have been cleaned and prepared 24 hours before identification. Instead, it was left over 72 hours before being cleaned because they're sitting there. What do we do? Shit. Damn, he's got family that cared and they're making too much noise and... oh, man. To which they offered the family a viewing of the body in its found state. They declined due to the state of the body and waited for the post-mortem to be conducted. Personally, I would have gone, yeah, it's hard and we don't want to, but we can't leave our family members to these devils to lie. Someone, anyone should have gone to say that's him or it's not him. Which it was. And originally the body was identified due to an arm tattoo, but when his mother noticed missing tattoos and a scar that had changed shape, she started to question, was this her son or not? It's probably his clone, if I'm honest with you. And I hate to say and think these things, but I mean... there was never any DNA taken from the body and compared with any family member. The mother openly questions, is that her son? And again, her concerns are dismissed, and it's put out there that she has identified her son when she hadn't. She questioned many things surrounding that body. The only body injuries were dislocated fingers, and his face and skin had completely gone. Only skin to go from the body in nearly 3 months. His face skin had completely gone. And that was the only skin to disappear from the body. So they used some type of chemical to burn off his face. They were really trying to make him not be identifiable. Or whoever this body is, or we're trying to make it look like, yeah, we can convince them that this is Ambrose. A pre-inquest is called, and the family find out the original crash location was at Ferry Lane, a mile from Leaside Road. And Ambrose leaves as a passenger, not the driver. The coroner had the wrong information. Or did he? As that crash location makes more sense to where the body was found than the one the police eventually went with from where the jacket was found. They have his date of birth wrong, and they didn't even have his full name. Yeah, you keep putting my date of birth as 25th of July. Am I born on the 25th of July or August? I need to know. I need to know. What day am I born? The coroner issues that all evidence is to be handed over to the family, which the police failed to do. They withheld CCTV footage. A coroner's a judge, you know, by the way. It's a former judge, a forensic judge, a judge that deals with inquiries. Allowed witness to, and they're not following the orders. The coroner issues an order, is what you should have put, an order. And they failed to do that. They don't follow orders, not even from judges. So who's running who? They withheld CCTV footage, allowed witness statements to change and change dramatically. Not minor things, big things that deemed the statements false. The police presented the last witness statement out of 4 given by the same witness. Yeah, because they don't like... I've got witness statements here that I told them categorically this is not what happened with Abu Bakr. I want to change... I want the... Well, this is what you signed. Well, I signed it about 2-3 hours after getting bottled in the face. What was I doing being questioned by police at that point anyway? Disgusting pigs. CCTV footage started to question witness statements at the pub. So CCTV footage shows the police started to question witness statements at the pub, which highlighted confusion in what was being said to what was being viewed. They didn't seem to interlink with each other. The inquest proceeds in January 2016 with no DNA taken, no identification of the body, but the inquest goes ahead, and to which the coroner decides it's an open verdict due to the last 10 minutes, where it's unclear how that body came to enter the water, and also he had taken the family views it was out of character not to make contact. The police never presented all the evidence to the coroner. They lied about the CCTV. It was in fact corrupt, as it had been opened pre-inquest at the station to make copies, to which they found it unusable and they couldn't make copies, but they told the coroner it had never been opened. Why do they want to make copies? The police have openly botched this whole investigation and had it closed pending new evidence, which there is plenty. The IPCC, who are now the IOPC, are still investigating their officers' conduct, and the police are legally allowed to dispose of evidence before any conclusion is made. And that's what they did to my case. Cases. The IOPC response is ridiculous. Ridiculous. How can they do that when the IPCC haven't concluded their investigation in those officers who botched their investigation? Surely, if the Independent Police Complaints Commission came to a guilty conclusion, then that same evidence should be used to allow the new investigating team to investigate a case the first team botched so badly. Was he murdered then dumped? Or just simply fell in a river by accident? I doubt that very much. Let a new investigation team take over and investigate it correctly. Only then will the full truth come to light. If the officers involved have nothing to hide and investigate it to the best of their ability and resources, then what's the issue here? There is none. Police cover up murders. Do they? Do they? Sure they do. I'm sure they cover up murders, rapes, police brutality, NHS crimes, birth certificate scandals, politician crimes. They cover up so much. So much.